Elon Musk's Tesla is the world's most valuable car company and also a pure electric car manufacturer, so it's a bellwether of the wider electric vehicle market. Tesla this week reported disappointing sales in the first 3 months of 2024, lower than the same 3 months in 2023. There's been growing talk about the global electric vehicle revolution faltering, and Tesla's results feed into that sense of anxiety. And here in the UK, by one measure, the share of new cars sold which were purely electric fractionally declined in 2023. Why the anxiety? Because road transport accounts for around 12% of all the world's carbon emissions. So if we want to get to net zero, we simply have to decarbonise our cars. And electrification is seen as by far the most promising route. So why are electric car sales apparently under pressure? Some have cited their high costs relative to petrol or diesel cars, others the inadequacy of public charging networks. Yet it's worth probing whether there really is a major problem here, and let's use Newsnight's global tracker to take a look at the numbers. This shows electric and plug-in hybrid vehicle sales as a share of total sales. It's been rising very rapidly, hitting almost 16% in 2023. There's now estimated to be around 30 million electric vehicles on the planet's roads. Many analysts actually expect sales to keep growing at a very rapid pace in 2024, and crucially for the electric share of total sales to continue to grow. In other words, they suspect the Tesla sales numbers will turn out to be a blip and that there's simply too much momentum behind the electric shift. One of the principal arguments is that average prices are already coming down as more electric vehicles come onto the crucial second-hand market, and Tesla and the Chinese electric car giant BYD are cutting their new sale prices. Not great for their profits, but good for electric car buyers. Though some countries are further down this electric road than others. This shows the UK's numbers, 23% of new sales being electric in 2022. As you can see, that's decent compared to the US and the United States, but lower than China and Germany, and well below Norway at an astonishing 88%. Why is Norway so far ahead? Because the Norwegian government has made it extremely financially attractive for individual drivers to go electric through taxes and subsidies. And this shows how important government policy can be in facilitating this shift. Some argue the UK government is going in the wrong direction. Last autumn, Rishi Sunak delayed the 2030 ban on pure petrol and diesel car sales to 2035 on the grounds that it would help people financially. This was welcomed by some car manufacturers, but others said it could undermine corporate investment into the UK car industry. And Labour has pledged to restore the 2030 target if they win power. But another important consideration is indeed the charging network. As the Independent Climate Change Committee has warned, the network is much more developed in London than other parts of the country. There were around 130 chargers per 100,000 people in 2022 in the capital. That compares to around 55 in the UK as a whole and as few as 19 in Northern Ireland. Now, the whole network has to grow enormously to around 430 per 100,000 by 2030. But it has to be even across the country if there's to be buy-in to this shift in how we get around.
I think a lot of focus should be on coordinating as well as funding charging rollouts, ensuring that the right chargers are being built in the right places where people need them. Because at the moment, it feels like a little bit of a free-for-all. And we also know that a lot of charging companies are facing real problems with planning. They're often having to wait a ridiculous amount of time to get planning applications through to actually build the chargers that we're going to need as we make the transition to electric vehicles.
Even those experts who think there's strong momentum behind the electric vehicle transition agree there's a role for governments in making it a smooth journey and ensuring that everyone